How far can you go for love? This show features couples that are willing to travel miles just to find love. However, some couples featured on this show were just bound to fail, and we can't forget to mention all those catfish situations. Today, we highlight for you 90-day fiancé relationships that were pure fraud.
It's just really fishy to me. I feel like she's feeding him lies. I don't want to see him get hurt. He's a really nice guy.
Number 5. Caesar and Maria. First of all, let's break the ice by telling you this. Caesar has sent Maria over $40,000 since the two first connected, but has been struggling for several years to get her to book a flight so they can meet in person. Caesar's close friends and co-workers are convinced Maria is scamming Caesar for his money, or that the Ukrainian beauty might be catfishing him. However, Caesar is determined to make things work with Maria and claims she's his soulmate. Caesar and Maria first connected via Ukrainian dating website that sets up Americans with beautiful women from Ukraine for a small price. The site allows the American partner to send gifts to the Ukrainian women, including flowers, candy, cards, and other romantic presents. The woman then decides if they want to respond to the suitor and strike up conversation if they're interested. Caesar stated on the show that he sent Maria cards and flowers worth $450 the first time they connected. Despite all the pushback from his loved ones, Caesar is convinced Maria is his soulmate. He finally feels like he found the one in Maria, and that the two had immediate sparks when they first connected. Disregarding the fact he broke up with a girl he dated for 13 years. He's known Maria for 5 years, but they have never even met. He sends her approximately $800 per month currently, including most of his tips from the nail salon, forcing him to live a penny-pinching lifestyle in a bare apartment. After several failed attempts to meet in person, it's becoming clear that Caesar might have been catfished. One of Caesar's nail clients noticed that Maria never uses Caesar's name in the video she sends him and only refers to him as my baby, which had her questioning whether Maria is sending those same videos to multiple men. After months of saving up, Caesar was ready to go to Ukraine to meet his lover, but was shut down by a rather flimsy excuse. Maria claimed the weather was so bad and they wouldn't get to enjoy the place, and suggested they went to Mexico instead. Caesar, who was love-struck, agreed to these conditions despite having financial constraint and promises to work extra hard to save for their trip. He decides to buy a $200 engagement ring before heading to Mexico in hopes of meeting his Ukrainian girlfriend in person. Although the reality star has had trouble meeting his lady love in the past, it looks like he's finally convinced her that she won't have any problems flying to Mexico. Caesar even got a $2,000 loan from his boss and sent Maria the money to get her own plane ticket.
Eu acho que eu aguentei muito por causa do bebê, porque eu achei que ele ainda seria bom marido. Mas não é verdade.
Number 4. Paul and Corinne. On another episode of Drama in Paradise, the couple have given fans their fair share of divorce threats. Viewers met them for the first time on camera in Brazil. This was after the couple had suggested a lot, but one particularly heartbreaking low was when Corinne suffered a miscarriage on the show. When Corinne found out she was pregnant again, she was unable to come to the US because Paul couldn't afford the K-1 visa process, and his mom refused to sponsor her, leaving Paul with no other choice than moving to Brazil. Before the birth of their son, Pierre, there were a couple of fights about Corinne texting other American men who Paul claimed were sending her money. When he asked for a paternity test, it was unclear if they were doing it out of suspicion of infidelity, but later it became known that it was due to their son's citizenship status. Despite the drama, Paul and Corinne were finally living together in the US, but there seems to be trouble brewing in Paradise, and baby Pierre may be the focal point of a potential divorce. Paul coming forward to say Corinne wants to divorce him has been happening so often that fans can't keep track anymore. The most recent was informing his followers that Corinne would like a divorce from him and has involved a divorce lawyer. It seems like the controversy doesn't end there. Paul went on Instagram Live and claimed that Corinne has been talking to this musician who's also based where they're staying. Paul claimed in his live video that Corinne had spent multiple occasions alone at Blake's house for drinks. Fans are used to this drama, but things got real when Corinne went to spend Christmas with her son at another man's house. Since Paul is petty, he chose to tag them all, including the alleged man, on a post wishing them a Merry Christmas. Even if Paul isn't the most liked person on 90 Day Fiancé, it seems that if the claims are true, Paul's anger just might be justified. If the situation is as Paul explained it, and Corinne really did run off with another man just days before Christmas, that seems pretty harsh.
About my relationship with Dia, he's pushing me to convert to Islam.
Number 3. Marta and Dia. Was their relationship over before it even started? Marta, a stripper and mother of 2 from Milwaukee, had been romantically involved with Dia, a man from Algeria, for about a year, according to their TLC cast bio. Dia had sent Marta a message, and they hit it off even though there was a language barrier between them. since Dia didn't speak English, but that's not the only obstacle that they faced. Since Dia is from a strict and religious Muslim family, Marta will have to win them over. Even though Marta and Dia refer to each other as husband and wife, it seems like Dia's family will have a hard time accepting his relationship with Marta because of her occupation as an exotic dancer. And it might have been enough to end their relationship before they were even able to meet in person. The two had been texting constantly, but things took a sour turn once Marta was clear on her strong Catholic beliefs since she wasn't ready to convert to Islam too. It seems this didn't please Dia and wasn't cooperating with Marta anymore, who was at this point very ready to travel and meet her Prince Charming. Marta seemed to have it all planned out and even tells her children about the trip. She was actually supposed to travel with them, but their father denied them the permit. Even if Dia is real and Marta's not getting punked, he must have not wanted her to go to Algeria. To get into Algeria, you need an invitation from a resident, as stated in the Algerian embassy's official website. Travelers will need to obtain an invitation letter signed and legalized at a local city hall from their Algerian host to obtain a tourist visa to enter the country. Dia, or whomever he is, never provided one, so that means no trip to Algeria. Many have claimed that Dia might be a catfish since the photos shared belong to a famous socialite from Morocco. What do you think?
My name is Ricky. I'm 33 years old and I live in Columbus, Ohio. There you go. I am a professional photographer and videographer.
Number 2, Ricky and Melissa. With easy access to dating websites and apps from all around the world, the dating pool is literally global. You don't have to stick to the neighborhood bars to meet suitable partners anymore. This is exactly what Ricky was thinking when he started looking for love after a divorce. He was interested in meeting Latina women and decided that the place to do that was in Colombia. So he set up a profile on Colombia Cupid and got to work. It wasn't long before he met Melissa. In his intro, he described her as his soulmate, the love of his life, and his last chance at love after 2 divorces. He even hinted that if his relationship with Melissa didn't work out, he was off the market for good. Many speculated that he was being catfished because their communication was only limited to texts, and the only time they tried to video chat, the video was blurry as if it was a GIF. Innocent Ricky insisted Melissa was having connectivity issues. Ricky tells audiences that they hit it off immediately. They have great chemistry, and he's sure that this is the real deal. He shows off still shots of a beautiful young woman as Ricky claims that she's also a nurse, so she clearly has good values in addition to good looks. When Ricky tells his friends that he wants to fly to Colombia to potentially propose to Melissa, they all express immediate skepticism. Their alarm only grows when he admits that he's been sending her money every week for several months. Some even question if Melissa is actually real, given their strange communication. When he tells Melissa of his intentions of meeting her in Colombia, the long paragraph she used turn into short one-word responses, which was very suspicious to Ricky. Setting aside all concerns, he boards a plane to Colombia to embark on what he hopes will be a romantic trip. His confidence is shaken by the fact that Melissa stopped returning his texts a couple of days before his flight. He takes to the air not knowing if his planned meeting with her is even going to happen. Ricky texts Melissa when he's on the ground and invites her to join him at a restaurant. She texts back and they plan to meet at 7. Ricky buys flowers, dresses nicely, does a shot at the bar to settle his nerves, and settles in to wait, and wait, and wait, and wait some more. It's after 8 p.m. by the time she finally texts him to say she's coming. She doesn't even arrive until well past 9. We could tell he was already giving up. Melissa finally walks in and appears to be exactly the same woman Ricky has been texting with for months. Yeah, everybody was shaken. The two of them chat for a while before she gets into a cab home, having not explained her lateness or committed to seeing Ricky again. There's no contact beyond an awkward goodbye hug. The following day, Ricky invites Melissa to join him for some sightseeing and she declines, citing university homework she needs to do. Ricky, ever hopeful, continues with his day, texting and reminding her that she's welcome to join him. She, never joins him. And that is how the two ended their perfect match relationship, as Ricky lands himself another Latina lady he'd been chatting with while still in Colombia, whom he ends up proposing to. Sleek, but smart, I guess.
Hi, beautiful. I'm here. Where are you? Are you upstairs? Or I'm downstairs right now at the exit.
Number 1, Cory and Evelyn. Despite voicing her desire to not get married, Evelyn accepted Cory's marriage proposal. He embarked on his journey to Evelyn's country, sad for leaving the USA, but was super excited to meet his wife-to-be. On arrival at the airport, the poor guy thought Evelyn would be waiting for him and eager to meet, as he was. He was in for a shock when he calls her to tell her he'd arrived and was at the exit on the lower floor, thinking she was at the top floor, only to find out she was still at her hometown town in Engbao. She proceeds to tell him to get on a bus and get to where she was since he was a big man. The level of disrespect that girl has is astonishing considering she drives around in a car he bought her and couldn't spare a moment to properly welcome him or offer a ride. Cory's main concern was his safety on the bus since he'd heard some rather spine-chilling stories of people getting mugged at gunpoint or even seriously injured. And he had everything important on him, including travel documents. It's clear this girl doesn't care about him, and this was an immediate red flag he ought to have seen before committing into the serious infidelity issues that they're currently facing. Share with us couples you think were ultimate frauds in the comment section below, and maybe we can have a part 2 of this video.